Hey everybody, Jacob with Scooters Lawn Care, and today we are talking about how long will it take you to, one, schedule my job and complete my landscape project. This is a question we get so often, and I want to take you kind of through the process of our approximate time, what it takes to truly get into the system and have a true tentative time, and then some of the variables that can kind of come up over the course of things. First and foremost, we can give approximate windows right when we're meeting you and we're going over the project based off of kind of, one, how long it will take based off how big we assume the job will be, and then two, how long it will take us to get to the job based off of our schedule at the current moment. And so what we typically say is anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks out, we will be able to get you on the books. We never try to stay super booked out because we want to be able to stay on top of work and get it done in a timely manner. That's extremely important to us because staying ahead of the game and staying on top of work that's accepting, we know is extremely important to all of our clients. And so it's extremely important to us, and we want to do that for the sake of efficiency and to make sure you're taken care of. But to truly get in and know a tentative start date, this is where you're going to have to accept an estimate to truly know where you're at on the schedule. We know that, yes, we never really stay much further out than 1 to 3 weeks, but we can't solidify a day for you until you have a signed estimate. And the process when we meet you, we're going to quickly put together an estimate, typically, if not the same day, within 24 hours, email that out to you, and you'll be able to sign that right through the estimate, through the quote link in your email. And then the second you do that and you have a deposit down for the job, we can drop it on the schedule and get you scheduled ASAP. And that's where it locks you in. And now we can give you a true tentative date. And the way I say a tentative date, that just means, okay, we put it on the tail end of the schedule on the assumed time the work will take. And so now we really have, we set an approximate number of how far out we are. Now we've gave you this tentative date. And at the same time, now we also have an understanding, since you've accepted an estimate, we truly know what all work is getting done, and it's verified, and there's a scope of work, and there's billable hours locked in and aligned with this. Now we can tell you a really good figure of how long it's going to take and give you the answer of how long this job will take. I will say most of our projects range at the quickest anywhere from a couple days, and average is probably 5 days to maybe 6 working days. And then when you start getting larger projects, 40, 50, 100,000. Now you're talking, this can run all the way up to 3 weeks and a month, really depending on the projects. So once you have a true locked in scope of work, we know exactly what's getting done, and we have a good understanding of all of that. We'll really be able to help you and guide you along the actual time it will take to do the project, and then the time it's going to take, how far out is it going to be to get scheduled. Now, there are some variables in that. If there's pavers, if there's things like that, there can be a lot of lead time on ordering those, but your standard work, we're going to be able to give you a clear future at that moment. I do want to go over some of the variables that come up that can change this. The tentative date is tentative because anytime there's a weather delay, the whole schedule gets pushed back. We aren't able to necessarily make that day up on landscaping. Sometimes we can, but a lot of times we can't. Also, another variable that comes up often is we're out on a homeowner's property and we're doing all of this work, and we realize, wow, this one thing or this whole chunk or some other piece of this project, hey, we do want to move forward with that. We do want to add that to that project, and it doesn't make sense in progress if you're already got something torn open to come back at a later date and reopen the project. So in that situation, most times we add that to the job and we make sure it's taken care of on that stop, on that visit, when we're out there for that amount of days. Now, this could add 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It really depends on how aggressive someone is with adding to their project, and it can push other jobs back. The cool part about this that I always tell people when I bring this up is, yes, if someone accepts more work while we're there on that given thing that we're working on, we're going to stay there. We're going to make sure that gets finished since we've already started on the project. And yes, that does push other projects back, but that is what we do for all of our clients. And I know that when I tell that to one person that we do this with everyone, in that same sentence, in that same time, if this is your project, we're going to do the exact same thing. You want to make a change, you want to add additional work, we're not going to make you wait. As long as there's no long lead time just to order material to get that add-on done, we're going to do it right then and there. We're going to add it right to that project. If it adds a day, if it adds a week, we're going to continue on that project and make sure that gets done, barring that there is, again, some kind of crazy material that needs to get ordered and some kind of lead time on that material. We're going to give that same grace and that same type of treatment to all of our clients. And so those are the variables: add-ons and weather. And of course, sometimes people do get sick. Things do go on in businesses where a crew has to get shut down. With weather, we have to help the mow teams because mow teams can't let grass go. Sometimes with crazy hurricanes, we have to let grass go for a week, but we can't let it keep piling up. We have to make sure that stays under control. So there are some variables, but we do everything we can to make sure we're showing up, we're staying on point with your job. We're not starting your job and then starting 5 others. That crew is starting that job, and they are taking that job to completion other than some kind of material holdup and some kind of holdup we cannot control. That is a little bit of how you figure out the true date, how long it's going to take, when you're going to understand that for sure. Everything's approximate until there's accepted work, and then we can start giving you more detailed tentative timelines and how long the project will take, and then went over some of those variables so you can kind of know what could potentially come up when you're getting a landscape project. Hope this has helped you. We're excited to work with more people just like you.